Angel Reese accused of hypocrisy for making up racist accusation in the middle of her war with Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese's controversial comments about feeling unsafe in Indianapolis continue to stir debate as WNBA All-Star Weekend unfolds in the very city she once accused of harboring racism. While Reese has since returned to the Indiana capital to participate in All-Star festivities and promote her new signature shoe, others in the league are offering a very different take on the city and its people. The controversy stems from an incident in late May, when the Chicago Sky faced the Indiana Fever at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. After the Sky's loss, Reese reposted a TikTok video that painted Fever star Caitlin Clark and her fans in a hostile, racially charged light. Reese went a step further by publicly stating she did not feel safe playing in Indianapolis. Reese's accusations escalated an already tense rivalry with Clark and amplified racial divisions within the WNBA fandom. Yet, despite the gravity of her claims, Reese never offered specific examples of what allegedly occurred. Caitlin Clark later addressed the moment, saying she didn't hear anything because it was way too loud in the building. The WNBA launched a formal investigation into the allegations, but found no evidence to support Reese's claims of racist behavior from fans or anyone inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The league's findings cast doubt on the narrative and caused many commentators and online voices who had rallied behind Reese's post to backtrack. All-Star Weekend paints a different picture of Indianapolis. Reese has returned to the city she once described as unsafe to participate in WNBA All-Star Weekend. According to Bro Bible, she has been actively engaging with fans, promoting her shoe line, and appearing at multiple public events. Far from shying away from the spotlight, she was seen Saturday morning riding through downtown Indianapolis and posing with fans. One fan account posted sarcastically, "If Reese is so unsafe in Indiana, why was she so quick to promote her shoe while she is there?" Questioning why the star would continue to take part in high-profile events in a place she previously said posed a threat to her well-being. Adding another layer to the discourse are Courtney Williams and Natisha Heedman, also known as the Stud Buds, who are among the most visible and energetic participants in this year's All-Star festivities. The Minnesota Lynx guards have been live-streaming their experience, even getting WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert to dance on Twitch and praising the city and its people. Williams went as far as to say that the locals have been nothing but nice, offering a stark contrast to Reese's portrayal of Indianapolis as hostile and unwelcoming. The bright lights of the WNBA All-Star stage had barely dimmed when a new controversy set social media ablaze, not over a buzzer beater, but over words. Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie and one of the league's most polarizing rising stars, suddenly found herself at the center of a firestorm. Not for her stats, but for a statement. In the middle of her increasingly public war with fellow phenom Caitlin Clark, Reese leveled an accusation that many fans and critics are now calling deeply problematic. "They don't cheer for me like they do her," Reese said. The quote alone would have been seen as just part of the usual gamesmanship, the fuel of modern rivalries. But the fire came when she took it further, hinting that the reason for Clark's overwhelming support wasn't just talent, but race. Reese alleged that Clark benefits from white privilege in the way she's covered by media and embraced by fans. "If I did half the things she did, I'd be called ghetto or worse," she reportedly claimed in a post-game interview that quickly spread across all platforms. Reese's comments, delivered after a game where tensions between the two stars were visibly high, sparked an explosion of debates. For some, she had finally said what many had been thinking, daring to speak the uncomfortable truth. For others, it was a low blow, a race card played recklessly in a league that thrives on diversity, unity, and rising above. But as the days passed, something shifted. A new narrative emerged, not one of validation, but of accusation. Accused of hypocrisy, critics were quick to point out that Angel Reese herself had benefited from fame built on personality, flash, and media-savvy branding. From her viral moment in the NCAA championship, when she pointed to her ring finger while mocking Clark, to fashion deals, photo shoots, and a growing social media empire, Reese has not exactly been ignored. How can someone with million-dollar nil deals, endorsement offers, and a seat at the ESPYs cry racism when she's literally been elevated by the same system? One ex-user wrote, Even more controversial was the argument that Reese's comment was not just wrong, but manufactured. Some fans accused her of fabricating a racial angle in a rivalry that had, until now, been mostly about basketball. "This isn't about race," wrote one blogger. "It's about resentment and attention. Angel Reese is creating enemies because she wants to be seen as the hero in her own documentary." Caitlin Clark, the silent target. What makes this feud all the more fascinating is Clark's silence. While Reese continues to speak out, on TikTok, in press conferences, in cryptic tweets, Clark has stayed mostly quiet, sticking to her game and letting her performance do the talking. And perhaps, ironically, that silence is what makes her so dangerous in the court of public opinion. The Iowa Star's clean-cut image, deadly shooting, and unflinching calmness make her both an idol and a lightning rod. "She's not just white, she's boring," another post joked. "That's why the media loves her, because she's safe." But others countered. "She's loved because she balls. Period." Even former players weighed in. One former WNBA veteran told a sports radio show, "What Angel's doing isn't strength, it's sabotage. She's hurting herself and the league by turning this into something it's not." A rivalry becoming toxic? There's no denying the rivalry between Reese and Clark has fueled viewership. Their college matchups broke records. Their transition into the WNBA reignited interest in a league often desperate for the spotlight. In many ways, this is the rivalry the league needed, but perhaps not the way it needed it. What began as competitive banter, some say, is starting to morph into something uglier. "When rivalries become personal, they stop being fun," tweeted a former coach. "And when race is dragged in unfairly, everybody loses." Still, for every critic of Reese, there's a defender, especially from communities who feel the double standards she referenced are real. "Don't dismiss what she's saying," one supporter argued. "Angel isn't wrong. She's just raw." Reese's response to the backlash. As the heat turned up, Reese didn't back down. Instead, she doubled down. In a now-deleted Instagram Live, she called out fake fans and media snakes trying to twist her message. "Y'all just mad I said what you were afraid to," she fired back. But even in defiance, there were signs of wear. A cryptic story posted later that night simply read, "I'm tired." And maybe that's the most human part of it all. Beneath the bravado, behind the lashes and finger-pointing and headline wars, are two young women, barely in their 20s, who've been thrust into the center of America's cultural microscope. Where do we go from here?